Finished Forest 3, Brentford 1, even though they should never have had a penalty. And at the end of the day,
the result is that at the end of the day, we always win.
Evening, everybody, and welcome to Grumpy/Happy Old Reds today, because Forest have scored 3 times the amount of goals we did all pre-season in 45 minutes. I gotta say, every single one of those goals was beautiful. Shout out to Joe for the redirect from Just Joe. Big up the Leeds fans in there with their Suge Knight, freaking Greek Suge Knight comments. And then shout out to you guys who are just also, I can see the smiles on your face. If you are happy clapping away, if you got your happy clapper juice, put a thumbs up on the video and put a smiley emoji in there as well. Boys, you were all at the game today. I kind of got to start with Ant, because me and Ant have been talking preseason, and it's like we haven't liked the football. It's been dry. We were worried where the goals are coming from, and they just rained in today. Ant, what was your take?
Look, boys, I know we're all getting excited, but I've got to be honest, right? I was very disappointed. I thought we were terribly disjointed, obviously not ready, unable to score any kind of goals, is what I thought I was going to be saying. However, wow, that was fantastic. What an enjoyable day. Lovely weather, nearly full City ground. Got a word about that. Nearly full City ground and a fantastic performance. I mean, that first half particularly was just superb. I mean, we could try. I sat there and I said to my brother, I said, you know what? It's taken us like to get into our 4th season, but we actually look like a Premier League side now. You know, I think we had slight imposter syndrome for the first couple of seasons where we didn't know whether we were really good enough and should we be there. But now I looked at that side, the way they were playing, the makeup of the side, what we've got coming in especially. I mean, our bench today could have had those 4 superstars on there. And I thought, yeah, we're a Premier League side now. We don't need to worry about thinking about, other end of the table. We could think about looking upwards. And I was very, very impressed. I've not seen Nuno's interview, I've got to admit, but I'd be interested in it. After what he's been saying the last few days, he must be absolutely delighted. And I still think that was a little bit of gamesmanship, a little bit of kidology. I don't think he could possibly have felt like that. And he wouldn't say that about his players either. He was basically saying the players we've got aren't good enough, we need to get players in. Well, no, no manager would do that, especially Nuno. So I do think there's a bit of kidology in that. But what a great performance. And some of the performances by the players, I mean, majestic, imperial, are just a couple, not imperial, imperious are just a couple of the words I could use about Sangare. What a beautiful player. What a beautiful player to watch. He glides over the ground. He wins his duels. His vision is excellent. He's always calm. People used to say always, lethargic or whatever. No, he's cool. That's what he is. He's cool. He's pressure resistant. He doesn't get flustered. And that's what a top quality player looks like. I mean, I don't want to drop the guy. Whoever comes in, I don't want to drop Sangare. I think, and today, he was playing as a proper 6 today. A proper 6. He was in that position. You could see it was marshalling, and he was absolutely superb. MGW, well, if this is his audition for City, long may it continue. He can audition right to the end of the season like this if he likes. If he played like this every day, I would be the rest of these hyperbole merchants. I would be saying what a fantastic, amazing, incredible, world-class player is. Because today, he was unbelievable. Now, virtually every trick and flick came off today. And that's the difference. If they don't come off, it looks terrible. If they do, it looks fantastic. And today it worked. His vision, his passing, his energy, everything about him. It was all over that pitch. Talking about all over that pitch, Elliot Anderson, take a bow. That man covers every blade of grass. He's got everything he needs in his game. And despite the fact that Andy Gray reckons that wasn't a pass, it was a hoof upfield. Right? That was a pass. That was a beauty. And let's not forget Chris Wood. The guy can score goals. I thought he would perhaps not be able to score so many goals this season. Now I'm thinking, I can see 20 coming.
He's already done 10% of last year, Ant. 10% already in the bag.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think everybody's probably noticed it. I certainly noticed it. That he was making that forward run before the ball even got to Elliot Anderson. Before it even got to him, he was making that run. We've always said, whatever we've said negatively about Chris Wood, we've always said he has got game intelligence. That showed it to perfection. Olorana back to his best, fabulous play. Everybody, Milenkovic and Murillo. I mean, Murillo was mind-blowing.
Ridiculous. Yeah.
Mind-blowing. But Milenkovic was Milenkovic, and that says enough for that guy. He is fantastic. Ndoye is how you pronounce it. Ndoye.
Oh, he's changed it now.
Yeah, I've got a little, if anybody's any sort of doubt about it, it's best to hear from the man himself, isn't it? Hopefully this will work.
Oh, yeah. Dan Ndoye.
Okay. So I think
Now
we've
you
settled
messed
that.
everything up. Okay.
Sorry, mate.
I thought for a second you'd just clip the bit where he goes, "Yep."
Yep. Well, yeah, but he said it. He said it
out of sync,
different in
wasn't
his
it?
Forest interview. So
Yeah, he did.
like, the confusion is still there.
I mean,
The
well, that's
confusion-
why I asked you. I said, "Read you," and you said the man himself.
No, yeah,
Okay.
it was from his, with the phone. He goes, "Hi guys, it's Dan Ndoye."
Yeah. Yeah. Perhaps he had a frog in his throat when he said it. Perhaps he went, Dan Ndoye. Anyway,
go on.
he's got work to do, but you can see little bits. There were a few times when I thought, not quite. But first game, and I'm sure I can see ability there. I'm sure he'll come. And his goal was fucking incredible. Igor Jesus, still nothing for me. Nothing. But, we'll see. We'll see. You never know. He certainly is not a goal scorer. He's not a Chris Wood replacement, that's for sure. We've got the other lad for that. Kalimawendo for that. Anyway, that's my brief overview.
Brief?
That's my brief overview. I hope
You just went through the whole
anybody
thing.
out that deserves a mention, but they were all great today, and what a fantastic day.
Well, guys, thanks for watching. There's nothing left to really say, but appreciate it. We'll see you tomorrow. Well, Rob, I'll note that down. The time is now 7 minutes and 50 into the podcast. I'm going to see how long it takes him to interrupt you. Before I get to you, let me just count. There have been loads of super chats in. Let's just run through the super chats, guys. While we're doing the super chats, make sure you've hit the like button. We're 146 likes, 600 of you in here. Shout out to you guys. Chris with the £2 said, "Told you boys, we're smashing them. No nicking." I love that everyone suddenly got this revisionism, right? And if I went back and checked the receipts, Chris, I'm just saying. Shout out to you with the £2. Much love. Dino with yet another gifted sub. Absolute legend. Much love to you, Dean. And again, apologies. It's coming up with these. I don't know what YouTube's doing, but it's not showing your names. Is it true that Rico Lewis wants to stay at City? I will have a video out on that tomorrow. I've spoken to my City Connect and I will update on that. But yeah, there are the rumors flying around. Thank you so much for the £2. Leonardo with the £5. He says, "I think Nuno's interview was misconstrued. He was saying the club isn't ready because we don't have the depth. He said the players we have are ready." That's a fair point. But I do think there was some frustration.
But he did also say we're in big trouble. We can't, we can't do it. We can't.
Yeah, but it's like when Deez tried to send me, when he pulled up my video saying, "Look at your video, it says we are not ready." It's levels, D. It's levels. He might have been saying what I was saying. We're not ready for a title challenge or a Champions League challenge. I'm not talking about relegation.
That's
and
not the
stuff.
way it came across. Come on. I've never seen such a negative interview in my life from a manager. Never.
Shout out to you for the £5. Shout out to After the Sun with the 199. He says, "Thanks for the membership." That's from Dean, mate. So make sure you show Dean some love and thank you for the 199. Dazza with another 499. He says, just want to see first half replication in the second. I hear that, but the first half levels were so high, and 3-0 up. You expect a little bit of a drop off in the second half. Dino with another £2. He goes, "We are Reds, always believing. We are Reds." I tell you, I was proud of that performance. I was proud of that performance today. Oh God, Ben, you can read this one. No, Rob.
Looks like
Rob.
Rob
No,
is-
no, Rob is asking you to read it.
Is £1.99 enough for me to say crypto sucks Willie for Rizzler papers?
I mean, that is factually incorrect. What I just like to say is that I met one of Nicky's best mates. I think it's actually his best mate, and his dad at the Trent Nav. And we need to get Nicky's dad on because Nicky's dad looks about 30 years younger than Nicky.
That's not hard.
Nicky has clearly had a hard paper round because, you know, I thought Nicky was maybe in his mid 50s, maybe pushing early 60s. His dad looks about 30. His dad, seriously.
Can I just ask you, Ben? Is this Willy Bolly or Willy in general?
Whatever, man. Whatever. After today's performance, I'm up for anything.
Shots fired back, Nicky. Shots fired back. Gifted membership from Horn. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. And Frederick with the 65 says we have a top midfield. Sangare, Anderson, Gibbs White was a
good, isn't it?
fire, man. They were ridiculous today. Big up to you. And big up to Andreas with the 20. He goes, Wood showed everybody. Rory Jennings, eat your hat. Is that the Chelsea fan?
Yeah, he's a dickhead.
Yeah.
He's clickbait meister.
All right. All right. We're 20 likes away from 200. Please get that done. Go on, Rob. You've heard what Ant has had to say. Where were you sitting today, Rob?
Well, so I was just composing a text message at the end of the game to arrange to meet crypto in the Trent Nav, and I felt this hand on my shoulder, and then this kind of stubble rubbing against my face as this.
It wasn't me. It wasn't
This
me.
head appeared over my shoulder, started reading my messages, and I turned, and it was Ant. And apparently, I'd been sitting 4 seats away from him the entire game and not realised, which is a bit creepy. Anyway, so look, he's already summarised everything. There's nothing to add. So yes, I thought we'd lose. Now, the only reason was I was getting that vibe from the preseason games, and I think Nuno himself was worried, right? You know, when you haven't scored any goals in pre-season, it's easy to expect the worst, especially from a bogey team like Brentford. But I think we're properly unbogeyed with them now. You know, we finally, after the 4th attempt, beat them at home. And, you know, what an amazing transformation, because it's only 3.5 months ago that I watched them beat us 2-0 at the City Ground. Obviously, a lot of different people involved. We had pretty much the same team, but but we were in the bottling phase, right? So it just shows what pressure does to you. I mean, today they turned it into 3 fantastic goals. Now, my takeouts from the game, I don't think we need to worry about Chris Wood this season. You know, obviously, with us not scoring any goals in pre-season, and with him also, you know, being a year older, with Ilanga, his main supply line, having left the club, it would be, and also with 2 new strikers coming in, Jesus and Calimuendo, it would be easy to write off Chris Wood. But I think, yeah, I know, I've already acknowledged that. Happy to be proved wrong. So I think we don't need to worry about Chris Wood.
Oh, don't stop with the.
I think we don't need to worry about Chris Wood.
So loud.
Wait, sorry to interrupt. Is there an echo? Or is that a troll message?
It's only when Rob speaks. His mic's on like.
I turned Ants up a little bit, so let me go on. Carry on.
Yeah, so that's the first takeaway. Secondly, I think we should look at the sort of passage of play through the game. So I'm looking at the, you know, that BBC action areas thing, and it's clear that we tired midway through the second half. They made their subs. We didn't bring anyone on until we'd conceded that penalty. Yeah. So I think our first subs came on 78, 79 minutes. And that's because if you look at the quality of who we were bringing on, it wasn't the sort of players that are going to give you like a second wind in a game. They were at best closers, right? So I think this is the big difference, because I tell you what, that game reminded me a little bit of the Southampton game, where we absolutely blew them away in the first half. And then we sort of just ran out of steam mid-second half. And then they nicked a scummy goal. And then they got another one. And I was thinking today, you know, if you let them back into this game if they get a second one, it could be that all over again. But thankfully, it wasn't. But I think that I said to the lady next to me at full time, look at the signings we've made. So, instead of the 3 that we brought on, imagine that you take off Ndoye, Wood, and Gibbs White, and you bring in on McAtee, Kalimuendo, and Hutchison. That gives you a second wind. So
Luiz.
Yeah, instead of doing all your work in the first half and then basically taking your foot off the gas in the second half, you can bring those 3 on, and and they're starters. You can bring those 3 on, and you can bring them on earlier than the 78th, 79th minute. You can bring them on in the 65th minute, and then you don't have that passage of play where Brentford got back into it. So I think it feels almost a little bit like overkill, the fact that we've signed those 3 and we're still going for Luiz. Especially, Sangare was really good. But, I mean, we should acknowledge that is the first time that Sangare has done a full 90 for us. Can anyone else remember him doing a full 90 before? So, if he can stay fit and he can do a full 90, then he can keep his place in the team, because that's been the problem for him in the past. But in any case, I just think we were great, but we're tired, and it shows the value of the signings that we've made.
Okay, is this true, Rob?
What?
Did you call him DJ, not DC?
Yeah.
Would you like to publicly apologize?
Sorry, DC.
To be fair to
That's
Rob,
such a humble apology. That's such a humble
When he
apology.
gets many fans coming up to him as he gets, it's hard.
That is true, DC. You gotta cut Rob some slack. I mean, you would have seen the queue today.
Oh, a very nice chap.
It was crazy.
The
It's
game.
crazy at Trent Nav. I even got tapped on the shoulder and was told that I should stop trolling Yates.
Wow. Let me just catch the super chats. Mark with the 36th month. He says, I never any doubts. I think it means I never had any doubts. Chris Wood again. Ole, ole, ole. Absolutely, man. Thank you for the 36 months. It's crazy, bro. Ant with the $2. He goes, Nuno needs to go to subbing school. I fully agree. I was nearly getting angry. But we were winning. Shout out to you, Ant. Fully agree. Chris with another £2. He goes, full interview context. Players were ready, he said. I don't think it matters now, to be honest, if he said they're ready or not.
He did actually say that. He did actually say, but that was almost like, because the interview said to him, well, are you, what are you going to do on Sunday? So he had to come back with, no, the players are ready. No.
Fair. And Brinley with the 35 months, the absolute legend. Guys, we're at 200 likes. Can you get us to 250, nearly 750 in the house? And let's kick it over to Ben, because Ben was confident on the win. No, you said a draw, didn't you?
No, I said a win.
You sure? Chat, can you remember what he said on the last
I said 1-0.
I think he said 3-1 from what I remember. 3-1 to Forest.
No,
he said we'd go like 3-0 up in the first half, and then they'd get one.
Yeah, and then Sangare would like bitch slap the ball away, and it would end up winning 3-1. Yeah, I said something like that. But I thought it was fantastic, to be honest. I can't remember a first game in a season where we come out and play like that, because a lot of people were worried during pre-season. I was the only one who stayed consistent, by the way, and said that pre-season doesn't mean anything. Their mentality. Rob, I don't know why you're pulling that face, because when I left the Trent Nav earlier, you said to me, Ben, who should we troll on GOR later? And I turned around and said, well, let's troll you, because you're the one who said we were going to lose, so you're not going to get away with it that likely. Look, I said the mentality will change as soon as we get into the Premier League, and it did. Those players came out to make a point. And the thing that I really liked about it is that even when we were 3-0 up, and even when we were 3-1 up, when we sat back, we didn't sit back like we used to last season. We didn't sit back into this like ultra low block. We didn't even go into what I would call a mid block. We kept playing the game. And I thought tactically it was fantastic. If you want to look at certain players, for me, and again, I've been consistent on this, Sangare, man of the match, 100%. No doubt in my mind. Sangare controlled that pitch today, and that's what we were missing at the end of last season. he controlled it to the point where I'm thinking, if Douglas Luiz comes in, does he even start anymore? Because I thought Sangare was fantastic today. I thought Anderson was great. I thought Morgan Gibbs-White was really good. Some of the tricks he was pulling off, they're actually working this time. So shout out to all of them. I don't think anybody had a bad game. I thought it was really good. I think it's great that Ndoye got a goal on his debut as well, because not everyone always has a good debut. So to get a goal like that and a diving header like that, I thought was brilliant. If I wanted to pick out one concern from the game, I was sat on the side where Aina was, and we know how much effort Aina puts in. He puts in the mileage. He's running up and down that wing all game. He looked absolutely knackered. I looked at the clock. On the 67th minute, he was pretty much sat down on the pitch. Now, I'm not blaming him. This is because he puts all that effort in. But we need some fullback cover, because it's not fair to expect that Williams and Aina go 110% every game like they did today. And another point I wanted to make is I watched some of
That's
Wolfie.
impossible, by the way. You realise that, don't you?
110%.
You can only give 100%. You cannot give.
You can give 110%. You can,
And if
because
you
you can give
110%,
10% more than
why doesn't you give 120%? You know what I mean?
because then he'd have to come off after half time.
Go on, carry on, but
So I watched a bit of Wolfie's player ratings after I got home. One of the things Wolfie said is that he thought the subs came too late. I actually disagree, because I think Rob mentioned it. Was it the Southampton match last year? If you start changing things too early, you change the team mentality and you actually risk conceding. Now, I know obviously we conceded to a penalty, but I actually wanted him to make late changes and try and keep effectively our best 11 on the pitch for as long as possible. So I didn't mind that. And as Rob says, like going ahead from the next game, we're going to have people on the bench who are the same level as the people on the pitch. So I thought it was fantastic. I thought it was absolutely brilliant. I don't think it could have been any better, to be honest. And I think everybody put a shift in. The mentality was fantastic. If we can this team today, there was only one person different from last season.
Yeah.
It's only Alanga for Ndoye. I know everyone's been worried, but it was the same team basically, apart from we didn't have Alanga. I don't think we missed Alanga today. I thought Ndoye offered something different, and he probably wasn't playing at his best, but it was only his first match. So I'm confident now. If that's how we play first match against Brentford, I know they didn't have Visser and stuff, and I know they're a bit crap, but I think I'm feeling confident now. If that's effectively you could call that our B team if you bring in all these new signings. I'm feeling confident. I thought we'd finish 6th this season, but I might be tempted to move up to maybe first.
Yeah, well, I put 12th. But
I mean, that's nearly as negative as Rob predicting us to lose.
you said 12, man.
It's not really negative. It's just
Let me just turn your mic up. Sorry, I accidentally muted you. Let me just turn your mic up.
Yeah.
I was pretty downbeat, as you know, because pre-season was awful, and I know you said it doesn't matter. It does matter. You know what I mean? It does matter.
Yeah, but it's not the same mentality, is it? And they proved that today.
No, I accept that, but you want to see some positivity when your team's playing, don't you? And we saw none. And we lost Lang, who supplied a lot of our goals last season, whether he was scoring them or setting Chris Wood up. So not only do you lose Elanga's goals, but you lose half of Chris Wood's goals as well, potentially. So I think we had a right to be concerned who were struggling to score, and that was shown by the friendlies. However, you're absolutely right. It was totally different today. I'm delighted to say, and we are bringing in reinforcements. So that's why my confidence level has gone through the roof. I think. I mean, Brentford were rubbish.
Shocking,
Although they've got some good players, I was surprised. I didn't recognise him until the
Henry was really good, I thought, on the left side.
Yeah, they're bringing some good players. I didn't realise he was playing, and he was playing. But they look what they are, a team that's been stripped of its assets. So it's difficult to gauge too much, but I saw enough good football and positivity to make me think we can do a similar thing against better teams than Brentford.
Yeah.
There's enough there for me.
I do want to bring you in on the subs, Rob, but I just got to address this point. Owen, for the first time in a few weeks, Owen, I have to say, he makes the argument about pre-season here. And I think probably Ant will agree with me. He was the one working the hardest in pre-season, and that showed today. Pre-season doesn't just mean nothing. There is a knock-on effect into what you see into the season. So
Well, there's
well
physical
done, Owen.
sharpness. There's physical sharpness, and there's confidence levels as well.
Well,
You know, if you're getting your body up, its physical best, and your team's winning, you're going to be feeling better in that first game than if you've been arsing about and your team's been drawing every game 0-0. You know, it's got to make a difference in that respect. I don't know what percentage difference it makes, but it does make some difference.
What was our possession today?
I couldn't believe it.
Was it
54.8. 54.8.
Guys, at one stage we were 70%.
It was 60-40 at half time.
It was 60% at half time, and I nearly fell off my chair.
Right. So,
Yeah,
can I come back to the point about subs?
Yeah,
I know we've
just
had
mute
the
up.
super chats. Do you want to do the super chats first?
Yeah.
Oh shit, I am muted.
There's one from
Okay.
Jen.
Yeah, let me catch up on the supers.
Yeah.
Well, let's do the subs, and then I don't want to
Right, so-
interrupt the flow.
yeah, so
and then we'll come to the
interesting
supers.
point. By crypto, which is about firstly, yes, we did have pretty much the same 11 that lost 2-0 to Brentford 3 months ago, but you have to be aware that team right then was that a lot of players were carrying injuries, including Hudson Ndoye and possibly Wood as well, because he'd just come back from his injury. They were fatigued. So, you know, you see the difference it makes with everybody being fresh today, because, you know, that Brentford and Everton game back to back, that was at the worst point of everybody's fatigue last season, where you just felt that after we didn't reinforce in the window. So you can see the difference that just giving people time to get their fitness back makes. Second point was about what do we do about Aina. Interestingly, we saw Jair Cunha play right back in both of the last two preseason friendlies. I was wondering whether he might come on for Aina today, because Aina did tire visibly. So I don't know. Maybe that option will be looked at, because otherwise, I don't see where he gets much game time at the moment.
When we saw Jair Cunha in pre-season, I thought he looked great defensively, but he doesn't really go forward at all.
No, sure. But if you're already 3-1,
if you look at a heat map of Aina and Williams, I wouldn't be surprised if they spend over 50% of their game in the opposition half.
Yeah,
they're wing backs.
Anyway, just to say that's potentially one option. I mean, Nuno himself said the other day that he thinks that Eric De Silva needs a loan, so he doesn't consider him like Premier standard yet. So that was the second thing. Now, the last thing about the subs, I think last season what we would do is we would take a 1-0 lead, and then our typical pattern of subs was to bring on Morato and Yates to lock it down, and then bring Taiwo on with 10 minutes to go to give Chris Wood a rest, right? And, you know, we were kind of impatient for that quite a lot, because we'd get our noses in front and we'd want it like quick, lock it down, because we were so good at locking it down. But I think, coming back to something that Crypto was hinting at, that the trouble is that if we did that too early, we would then lose momentum and we would invite the other team to attack for the last 30 minutes, right? Now, this is why I think these signings that we've made are so important, because I can see us making substitutes earlier and kicking on to go on and extend the lead, right? So, you know, we're 3-0 up, but then we're sort of 60 minutes in, we run out of steam. But if you bring on those three players that we've just signed, then you go and you get a fourth or the fifth. You're not going to lock it down. You're going to extend the lead. And I think I can see that Nuno's a bit miffed because these players have arrived a little bit late. He's not been able to test them out in pre-season. He now has to integrate them into the squad. But we can all see what they're for. And I think they're exactly the right signings in the right position. So, you know, I think the position on subs is going to be a lot different, because we need to be getting that second wind midway through the second half to go on and finish off the game on the attack rather than clinging on, which is what we did in at least half the games last season.
Yeah, look, my gripe about the subs isn't necessarily that I wanted to system change or anything like that. My gripe is that this is the first game of the season. Therefore, we need some freshness. We've got Palace coming up next week. Then we've got West Ham, isn't there? And then we start to think about the European stuff and what have you. And this is off the back of most of these players not having played 90 minutes during pre-season, or not that regularly played 90 minutes. That was my point. When you were 3-0 up and comfortable, I didn't want a system change. I was calling for Jesus for what's his name, Wood, and then Dan Ndoye off for Jota Silva, just to keep it. And he did those subs, but my annoyance was he did it at the point where we conceded. So even though I think he was already planning it, it came across still reactionary, and I have my doubts over his substitution management from last season. And you were going to say something?
Yeah, no, I was just going to say, I hesitate to say this because I agree 100% with what you're saying, but I'm just playing devil's advocate. From a manager's point of view, first game of the season, you really want to win it. And maybe he just has that little confidence in his subs. He's just scared to take the chance. I think that's maybe what it is. And that's perhaps why he was getting angry early on, because he's thinking, yeah, my first team's okay, but I've got to flog them because I didn't. Because if after 60 minutes, if you're 3-0 up after 60 minutes and you make these subs with players that you haven't got confidence in, if they score the next goal, then you start panicking, and then the team starts getting deeper and they start panicking, and it can all go tits up. We've seen it many times, 2-0 up, 3-2 down.
Process.
So I think it's more. I think when he's got quality substitutes, he will probably use them and use them earlier. So I can understand that.
Yeah, I 100% agree. But the point I was making is that if we had the players on the bench like McAtee and Douglas Luiz, then go ahead, because they're a similar level of player. But to take off, players who were doing excellent today, to put players on who were effectively looking to sell, like Jota Silva, etc., and people like Yates, who is probably 5th or 6th in the pecking order, I didn't want to see it happen too early.
Look, the point is a fair point, because when we looked at the pre-match, when we were looking through the team sheet on the stream, my worry was, boys, if we went behind and Nuno looks over his shoulder, who gets us back into that game? Because there was 4 centre-backs on that. I think there was Bolly, Cunha, Morato, and who was the other one? There was one more. Who was the other one?
Carmo?
I don't think Carmo was on there.
I didn't see him.
There was 4, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, so that was my worry, but obviously within 5.
Abbott,
yeah, correct. So that was my worry. Now, what I said before the stream is, by hook or by crook, get 3 points, get out of this game, and things are looking very bright from next week because of the signings that are coming in. This is why, I'm sorry, Anne, but this was a must-win game under any circumstances. If Forest had come out of this one with a 1-0 dirty, ugly win, in my mind, fine. We've got McAtee, Hutchinson, Douglas Luiz, etc. on their way and ready. And that's the difference. Like, I had that, let's just get out of this ugly one, get on and see what we can do with that squad. But I still do think that because it was the first, if this was game week 7 and that was the squad and that was the bench, I'd be like, yeah, cool. They're match fit. They've had 6-7 games under their belt. I get it. But it doesn't really matter. We won. Everyone's fit. Everyone's fresh. You guys were asking about the heat maps. Well, I've got it for you right here. So
yeah,
let me bring
who our
up.
furthest forward player was.
Do I know who it was? I can tell you in a minute.
Overall, over 90 minutes.
Ndoye, probably.
I don't know if this will show you or not.
It won't show on here, but I got it on another screen.
It was Hudson Ndoye.
Hudson Ndoye is really good, especially in the first half. So I think, Ben,
nice
you were asking about. I just want to point a couple of things
about the wing backs. Yeah.
This heat map, I love looking at these heat maps. I don't know if you guys in the chat are going to find this interesting. Apology if you don't. Look at this on Brentford. This is in the attacking third. This is what Sangare did and Anderson and the 2 centre backs. Literal brick wall, man. They had no possession in our half whatsoever down that middle area. They had a little bit here on the left because I thought Henry played quite well for them, actually. But in essence, most of their possession was at the back. And then you look here at Forest, man. Look how much higher up into their half that midfield bit is. Obviously, as you get here, you're going to hit the centre backs, but we're getting in behind on either flank as well with Hudson Ndoye, with Dan Ndoye on the other side. And that's just fascinating to see. It's very different to the heat maps from last season. And then, Ben, to answer your question, here are the 2 fullbacks in terms of their heat map, and their darker spots are in the opposition half, as you correctly pointed out.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
that's why I think I haven't heard the latest, but I've been seeing a few people in the chat saying that the Rico Luiz deal might be off.
Yeah.
And I know he would have preferred to play in midfield anyway. But if we could get that type of player as a backup, because he again will push forward. Williams and Aina are definitely starters for me. I think they're both fantastic, but it is unfair to expect them to play 90 minutes every game because they do just run around so much. You can see how knackered they are. So I don't know if we're linked for any more kind of wing backs, full backs, but I think it's a massively important position, and we saw it last season as well. They effectively overlap. I mean, look how many crosses that people like Williams were trying to put in. He runs down the wing, cuts back, and then tries to find a cross. So it's a massively important part of our tactic. So I think you need to really concentrate on those positions and find some people pretty quick.
And then if I want to show you, because they're asking in the chat. Go on.
No, I was just going to say, I'm quite certain as you can be, that we'll bring in some fullbacks, but people shouldn't be expecting top quality ones, because Aina, and it is Aina, by the way, Aina and Williams are pretty ensconced as those fullbacks. They're pretty set. It's hard to get a top quality backup to come in. Now we all say, no, we don't want a backup. We don't. Hang on. We all say we don't want a backup. We want somebody to challenge, and I agree. I absolutely agree. That's all right for us to say that. But if you're a footballer at a club and he's getting regular game time, and you're saying to him either come and be backup or come and fight for your place, he might think, well, no, because I'm first choice here. Depending on the club he's at, obviously. If he's at Workington Town, then he'll come. But you know what I'm saying? It's hard to get quality backups. I mean, I know we're doing it in.
Yeah, but look what we're doing in the other positions with McAfee and Luiz.
I agree. I agree. But I'm just saying, don't expect. We might get lucky. We might get somebody like. I mean, we're not going to get Rico Luiz. It doesn't look like, but we might get somebody that.
We
quality.
should do.
I mean, Rico Luiz would be perfect because he can play both sides.
I'd be interested to know if people have got any suggestions on fullbacks, because it's not that easy.
Simicast is still linked. That would be one. I think he'd be decent as back. Yeah. He's a really good crosser in the corner taker as well.
Definitely.
Yeah,
no, definitely. Yeah.
I just want to show you guys this. So this is Anderson and Sangare, an overlay of their heat map, and should do it individually. So Anderson is always getting around all over the pitch. Just fantastic performance. 93 touches, and then Sangare there with 60 touches. Most of his work coming in this CDM role. I thought he played that CDM role to perfection today, boys. Yeah, really, this area really here. He's just got this way of he looks like he has time. You know what I'm saying? Like he's just 2-3 players on him, he's not phased. He's not phased at all.
Yeah. He's tidy and he's calm. And the one time I saw him give the ball away, he ran about 40 yards to get it back. So he takes responsibility as well.
He's done really well, actually, because if you look when he first started with us, the one thing we were saying is that maybe the Premier League is too quick for him, and he's gone to prove everyone wrong, because it's clearly not. Like, he looks so calm on the ball. His passing is fantastic. Like, his passing is really, really good, and not just simple passes as well. He makes 30, 40-yard passes. There was one, I think he crossed it from one side of the pitch to the other, and where I was sat, it was like a boomerang. It like bent round all the top of everyone's head. So he's a completely different player this season, and I think he will be challenging Luiz for that sixth position.
And I just want to show you guys the average position of each player. As Ant said, Hudson Ndoye over here, number 7, was our highest player by a mile. But just look in general, like how much higher we were. On average, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on average in the opposition half. And look at Brentford, 2. I see you rubbing your hands together, and I think just visually, it's really important to have a look at it. I'm coming to the
not only that,
I just think these stats are important to look at.
Sorry, man.
Done. Go on, go
It's
on.
because I can't hear you very well. On
Yeah, go on, mate. Go on.
I was going to say, but look how far forward our players are compared with the players that they've got. You know what I'm saying? They're only just over the halfway line. Our forward players are a lot further up.
Yeah,
These,
I'm glad we didn't buy
14,
Kelleher.
14, 11. So Ndoye, Wood, and Callum are well up. It's nice to see Morgan dead in the centre there.
Interesting to see how far
Anderson.
forward Murillo is, and Milenkovic is the one that's staying back and covering for him.
Yeah.
Well, what I noticed as well, I don't know if it was visible on TV, but when we did set pieces and stuff, Sangare would also effectively cover as a centre back. So he would stay back with Murillo, and obviously Milenkovic goes up for the headers, etc. But one of the biggest things for me is that not only did we not kind of drop back, is that we actually had good possession as well. So we've done kind of two tactical changes at the same time. I thought it was really impressive. I'm still surprised at Nuno's interview how negative he sounded, because I thought it was fantastic today.
But after the match?
No, the one that was on Sky a few days ago.
I haven't seen
yeah, I'd love to see his interview from after the match today, but I can only imagine that he's happy.
But just on this, Rob, like the reason I'm highlighting exactly what you said, that you use Milenkovic as that piece of steel, that where he says to Murillo, "You go do your thing, mate. I got you covered." So Murillo can be a bit more flamboyant, a bit more risky. That move he did right at the end of the game. Did you see that drag back, drag forward?
And it was absolutely criminal. They wouldn't let him take that free kick at the end. Everyone was
that was outrageous.
Yeah,
fucking outrageous that was.
I mean, you know,
there's no need for that. Why let them set up and everything?
Exactly.
The defense set up, and why let them all set up and then say, "Oh no, you can't take it."
Yeah,
ridiculous. I tell you what, I noticed a tactic today that I've not seen before. I'm not saying we've not done it before. I've not seen it before, and it may just be a one-off for Brentford. I don't know, but it was very interesting. I thought. We had a, and it's to do with pressing, which is not something we were renowned for. Well, high pressing, which is not something we were renowned for. But twice it happened. Once, as I'm in the Trent end, so once on the right as I'm looking, I saw Nico go like that and then like that, and everybody went to that corner. It was. I said to Nathan, "It's like watching kids football. They're all in that corner." And then later on, we had one on the other side, and I saw Milenkovic do the same thing. He went like that and go. And they all did exactly the same thing and pressed really tight up in the corner. I thought that was quite interesting. I'd not seen that before.
There was so much to like about it. And just one more point, sorry, and I'll stop being geeky on the tactics. What you have to notice is that because Milenkovic is doing this anchor role, you're now almost playing here with two CDMs because they have that much confidence in Milenkovic's ability. And this is why Gibbs White is so much higher up on average, because of the freedom of the trust of this, and this becomes a pairing. These two become a pairing in that midfield. It's fantastic. And then you got Anderson doing his Anderson things. I really like this shape on where it's spread on the average team position. I just I know it's Brentford and I hear it in everything, right? But I'm gonna go a step further and say, boys, that was one of the best performances we've had aesthetically since we've been back in the Premier League. Would anyone disagree with me? Would anyone disagree with that?
I agree with you. And also, if you notice on that position map, even Sells was further up the pitch than Kelleher was.
Yeah, exactly. Let me just catch the super chats. We've got a few to get up to speed with. And where did we
kill?
Is Crypto making the sequel to that Nuno Tavares video? Because I couldn't you just turn the camera off if you're going to actually kiss?
Big up to Brindley with the
he did let him kiss the other night. He did.
Man,
he let him lick his nose after he'd been licking its arse.
Anyway, Red Rodriguez with the 6 months. Shout out to you. Big up to Darren with the 199. He goes, pre-seasons are minutes in legs. End of. I still don't fully agree, bro, but shout out to you for the £2.
So it's never used to help gel with team. It's never used to practice tactics or anything like that.
Exactly.
Why don't we just run up and down the field then?
That's what we did.
Does anybody think that Nuno was playing that 4-4-2 in the last pre-season games just to throw the opposition off? Because I don't think for one moment he was playing that 4-4-2 thinking that he was going to start the Brentford game with that. I think it was him keeping his actual Brentford game plan on the wraps.
No, I think what he was trying to do is effectively see what Jesus was like alongside Wood, but he couldn't really. If he put Jesus on for 20 minutes in a preseason, it's not long enough. So he just decided to play it as a 4-4-2 and see both of them at the same time.
You're both miles off the mark.
Which I think is why we weren't great in preseason, to be honest, because he was effectively playing a striker as a shadow striker, and we lost that kind of midfield. Kind of feeding through to the front line. So
go on then, educate us, Wolfie. Educate us.
I'll tell you off stream. Shout out to Steve with the 31 months. He goes, Forest were 33-1 to finish top 4, now 20-1. We should be like
That's ridiculous.
We should be one.
He's going to put 20 quid on Forest to finish top 4.
You're tempted, are you? Nico with the 4.99, he said, put it this way, that is the shortest squad we will have for any match this season. So what?
Season.
Shortest match for any match this season, and we won. Forget the other bit.
I'm not sure what the Sosun means.
I think he means shortest in amount, not in height.
Yeah, he's talking quantity. He's talking quantity. No, I get that. I didn't know what that Sosun was. But shout out to you, Nikki. You are right. From next week, we got a pretty meaty squad. Pause. Jess with the £11. I wonder why. She says, second time, but never doubt Chris Wood. Jess, you're the one who's been flirting with a certain guy called Amari, right, Jess? Don't suddenly turn to the golden boy now just because he's bagged 2 in there, Jess. He's seen your messages. He knows what you've been doing, Jess. Shout out to you, Jess. Appreciate it. Dean with the £2. He says, Woodsy the Woodpecker showing age is just a number. I mean, exactly. Yeah. Look at Ant.
I agree with that. Unfortunately, the number's a bit too high for my liking.
Just on this as well, what's the Mr. M song? I've got it up on a short. So if you want to hear it,
I'll sing it for you if you want.
No, please don't. Please don't. We got over 800.
No, we can all sing it.
It's on the short.
I took some.
Palace, Forest or Magic.
All right, there you go.
Maranakis. I took some photos of him. Today.
Yo,
I'm just watching. I know I shouldn't be doing this, but I'm just watching this. There's our owner.
Oh wait, isn't this the guy who holds?
But people will no doubt say he shouldn't be near the chain. He shouldn't be near the.
Shouldn't hold him at gunpoint. Shouldn't hold him at gunpoint. Yeah.
No. He should be in some corporate meeting in America like our owners.
Exactly. Shout out to Chris with the £2. He says fullbacks are deadline day signings. If they're squad depth, then yeah, I got no problem with that, bro. I tend to agree. All right, I want to talk, and sorry, one more here from Dazza. He goes, we will finish 5th. I'll take 5th, man. I'm still saying 6th. I'm still saying 6th. But I'm never wrong 60% of the time. Thank you, Daz. Right, I want to talk about Morgan Gibbs-White. He's had a lot of stick over the summer. He's had, for obvious reasons. I thought today he was sensational. That second goal, that spin, I don't know if you guys got a clear view of it, but he spun to his left and spun back to the right, whipped the ball in, no messing around, bang, onto Dan Ndoye's head. But what was he like, Robert, at the stadium? How did you find his performance?
Well, to be very clear, the fans were 100% behind him. Right from the start, even from the warm-up. And then when the team was revealed and they get like the 5-second graphic of them standing in front of the camera, he was kind of smirking and pointing to the badge, which I thought was quite a clever joke, really, because I mean, he is now committed to Forest for the long term. So look, I don't think anyone was holding anything against him, and he's putting a man of the match performance, so he was well received at the ground. The thing he still can't do is shoot, because he had a couple of lovely chances. He did an amazing bicycle kick that went just over, but then he had another one where he had the time and he just didn't get his weight over the ball and he just hoofed it way over the bar. So there's still that one question mark over his overall game. But, you know, he got 7 last season and he scored quite a few of them towards the end of the season. So you felt like he's making some progress in that regard. But you do think, you know, if he could just add that to his game, he would be a 80, 90 million pound player rather than a something over 60 million pound player. So, but, you know, there was no doubt, there wasn't a single boo or groan or anything like that. The support for him was 100%. And, you know, I think we've got to sort of just move on from what didn't happen. Just want to say, by the way, the owner has played a blinder over the summer. We've got to be really clear about this. That's why he has a song. You know, he kept hold of our key player. He sent Palace down into the Conference League. It was all his doing. Well done. He's a magician as well. And, you know, we've been served up some really good signings right as the window nears. He's had a 10 out of 10 summer, Marianakis. And I think we should, you know, the point is that all these other pundits and fans from other clubs saying they don't like him, I bet any Premier League fan would want him to be owner of their club, right? Because what more could he have done for Forest this summer other than like built us a new stadium, which, by the way, most people don't want. But, you know, he's had a 10 out of 10 summer, and we should acknowledge that. And all the hate he's getting is because people wish they had an owner like that.
You hate what you love, mate. You hate what you're jealous of. Absolutely. Wait, what are you saying there? Just back on the Gibbs White point, Ben. I thought, again, solid performance.
I thought he was fantastic. I thought it was one of his best performances in a Forest shirt, to be honest. And the little tricks and stuff he does actually paid off. I mean, there was one bit, he was kind of like in the middle of the pitch near the bench. He like spanned someone out and I think he nutmegged them. Like it was crazy, really. Like Rob says, everyone was cheering his name. In the ground, he won man of the match. I know Anderson won player of the match voted by the fans, but in the ground, Morgan Gibbs White won man of the match. That kind of 180-degree turn and that cross into Ndoye was fantastic. I mean, he literally hit the cross as soon as he turned around. So he probably kind of knew where he was, but to put that ball in I thought he was brilliant. And he put in a captain's performance. And I said before, Morgan Gibbs White is a true professional. Whatever happened, whatever is the real reason that the kind of Tottenham Spurs gate thing happened, he's still a true professional. And he definitely put, as Ant would say, 110% in today. And I thought he was fantastic. And if that's his first game of the season, then again, he'll only improve. Like, Nuno is a great coach. These players are going to get better. I can't imagine we're going to put in any, you know, worse performances than something like that. So I'm feeling really confident. I'm feeling really, really confident. Yeah, we probably will. But I'm feeling really confident.
You've spent a lot of time at Trenton, haven't you, today? I can tell.
I have. Rob tried to film me with drinks.
No. He had 45 minutes and then he had to run off.
Rob put at least 7 pints down my neck. So, you know, if I'm
because you're going a bit. I mean, we're all getting a little bit giddy with the excitement, but
that's literally going to be my question.
Hey, I was going around people at the Trent Nav saying that we're going to win the Premier League. So
that doesn't surprise me. I mean, from my point of view, with Morgan Gibbs White, well, I've said my piece about him earlier on, but I wish he'd have scored that goal just so we could troll Spurs fans. I would send it to every Spurs fan on the internet, mate. But I don't know about you guys. I mean, we were all in the. Oh no, you and I, Rob. We were in Trenton, yeah. Nicky's had it. Nicky's gone.
Nicky told me he left on
the Ndoye goal was really weird because it took ages to go in. He headed it, and because we were behind it, obviously you've not got the sense of distance.
And I think that's just because you're old, mate. It didn't. It took about half a second.
Oh, fuck off. So it was going in the goal, and the whole ground went silent. And then it hit the back of the net, and it's like, wah!
So can we talk
really
about
strange. It took so long to go in.
Can we talk about Ndoye just a little bit? Because I was having to think about him. So I would say his performance today was a solid 6, right? He didn't set the world on fire, but there was end product. and that's all I care about, right? End product. I felt like he's very different to Elanga, right? He's a little bit cleverer.
Football IQ.
Yeah, he tries things, and sometimes they don't come off. And I felt a couple of times he tried to dribble through the defense, and he literally left the ball behind. Did anybody notice that he kind of like carried on going? The ball was behind him. It's like, what are you doing, man? You know. But I don't mind the wingers trying stuff on.
Yeah.
But I mean, I was having a look at his goal highlights. So you know, when he was playing for Bologna, he scored a fantastic goal against Napoli, like a back heel that looped over the keeper. Amazing goal. And then he scored a really good one for Switzerland against Germany as well. An amazing near post volley. And I was thinking that, you know, would Elanga have scored those goals? And I think possibly not. So I think that in terms of his finishing and his skill level for that sort of thing, he's possibly got a higher ceiling than Elanga. But so even though he's the replacement, I think he offers something different. And I think we probably need a few games to make a proper assessment of him. But right now, it looks like 35 million decently spent. I'm not worried about him. And like I say, end product is what is important, because, you know, this was the issue with Jota Silva and with Sousa last season. There was not really any end product. And you don't want wingers that huff and puff. You need goals and assists.
Yeah.
And he delivered.
Yeah, but I've got to ask the question, because this is getting into a bit of a cuddle fest here, right? And are we going OTT? Yeah, I don't know what happened to my camera, Curtis. Are we going OTT? Because Brentford was shocking. Shocking. Is this what
I
we
just
expect?
said a minute ago we were all going OTT, and I did warn people just to get a little. Because look, first game of the season, you want to win and be a bit crazy and have loads of hopes and dreams, don't you? But you got to be a little bit realistic. You know, come February when we're playing Man City away, you know, it ain't necessarily going to be like this. We have to realise the opposition does make a difference. We were at home, Brentford in total disarray. New manager, all the better players have gone. So, although they still have some good players, they're in a state. They looked very poor today. If I had to put my money on relegation candidate, they would definitely be amongst them, without doubt. So we have to be a little bit careful not to get. But why not? Why not get a bit carried away first day? Because we'll have plenty of times when we're coming on here bloody miserable and moaning. So we may as well enjoy it, hadn't we?
You should have
boys. I don't know if you're aware of it. I was trying to think at the start of the stream last time I remember us winning at home. I remember us beating Millwall, which was about 7-8 years ago.
2017 is the last time we won our opening game.
That was the last time we won our opening game, which is crazy, isn't it? It's crazy to think that. So yeah, let's enjoy it, man. Exactly.
Exactly. You lot are so negative, man.
So could we talk about Igor Jesus for a minute? Because there's a few people sort of saying he wasn't that good. I mean, he had about 10, 15 minutes.
Let me catch the super chats.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
Let me remind the guys in the chat, there's over 800 of you in here. Shout out to all of you. We're on 324 likes. Like, come on, man. Like, get up to Chris Wood style conversion.
What?
Right, Chris, what?
324 likes with over 800 people.
It's crazy, isn't it? It's crazy. And while you're doing that, you might as well click on the link that's pinned to the chat. Join the Discord server. It's completely free. I see Paul's just joined. Gilles has joined. Toby has joined. Danka, what a name, has joined as well. Loads of you are joining the Discord. Get in there. The Forest chat goes on in there literally 24/7. I didn't close the poll on that. 41% of you, by the way, thought the subs were too late. Let me just do
Why
these.
Notts, lad? Does he mean, am I from Nottinghamshire or am I a Notts County fan? What do you mean by that? What's he
Not
saying?
Not sure, Jay, but he used to work at Pride Park.
I'm from the heartbeat of Nottingham, one of the oldest parts of Nottingham, and I'm proud of it.
What, Derby?
Anyway, Noah with the $5. He goes, speaking of chants, did you see the Palace fans sing F. Marinakis? Rest of my respect for them is gone now. Let's go at them next week.
I just want to say on that, Noah, one thing I did find sickening is that when they were doing the minute silence for Diogo Jota, some of the Brentford fans were like swearing and shouting, which is really bad.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Was
Yeah,
it
it's
was
really
it all
bad.
was it all Brentford fans? Because I mean I could hear the shouting, but it's very difficult.
I
to
think
know.
the
Came from the Bridgeford end. So
no. The Forest fans were telling them to shut up in return.
Yeah.
But the Brentford fans were I don't know what they were shouting. They were shouting something like what about someone? I'm not sure what the name was. They were calling out someone's
They've
name.
perhaps got some. Perhaps one of their players have died, and there's been
Maybe.
nothing
I
said
don't
about it.
know,
Which I
but-
understand, to be fair. If that's the case,
Yeah,
I
but
understand that. But you
probably
don't
not the right
disrespect.
point to
You don't
do it.
disrespect somebody else, though, do you?
Exactly.
No,
for
you don't
that?
do it in the minute silence.
the
They
thing.
could have shouted it after or whatever, but they were shouting it like
No,
right.
I was saying to Nathan, like, before they even did it, I much prefer the minute's applause because nobody can ruin that.
Yeah, no
Yeah,
one can ruin the
exactly.
applause.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I agree.
Yeah. And come on, man, like it's a minute. Just keep quiet. It's not that hard to do. But shout out to you, Noah.
Sometimes,
and
genuinely though, sometimes people don't know. They come into the ground and they don't realise.
Yeah,
coming
there
up the
is
back
that as
steps
well.
or something.
Yeah,
It does
yeah.
happen.
Yeah. Isaac with the £2. He goes, the possession-based system is clearly working now. I agree, but let's get through Palace. I'm starting to start thinking about that game.
That's starting to look a cracking game now. I wonder if Eze will still be there. Did you see that goal he had disallowed today?
I haven't seen it yet. But you know what's spicy about this weekend? Forest are playing Palace and Newcastle are playing Liverpool.
The Isaac Derby.
Oh, I'm glad it's away so I can watch both if they're on the same.
Theirs is on Monday. Theirs is on Monday.
Monday.
Thank you, Isaac, for the £2. Connor with the super sticker. Thank you so much, buddy. And Dino with the £2. He goes, perfect day. Gum United, Sheffield, and Derby losing. It's been a great weekend. I can't lie, man.
And Leicester and Notts County lost as well.
Leicester lost
as well.
I don't even know. Oh, they lost. Who did they? I don't even know who they played. Don't even know who they played. Don't really care either. Shout out to Leo with the 199. Chris Wood again. Ole, ole, ole. All right, he's bagging him in, man. Ant said he wouldn't score this season.
Tell you what, that's a lot better song than his old song. I much prefer that one.
Okay, Rob, you wanted to talk about Igor Jesus. By the way, we're 21 likes from 400, guys. You can get to 400. Like, stop scrimping around on this. Get to 400. Go on, Igor Jesus. You don't talk about it. I need the loot. I'll be right back.
Right, point about Jesus. Very small sample size. So he's come on the 79th minute. I would have liked to see him come on a lot earlier. For the time that he was on the pitch, he had Ryan Yates playing 10 behind him and Jota Silva on the right instead of Dan Ndoye. So it's difficult to shine when that is your supply compared to what was given to Wood. Now, why did he not bring Jesus on earlier in like the 60th minute or whatever? Possibly it's sentimentality because Chris Wood's on a hat-trick at that stage. So, when a player is on a hat-trick as a manager, if you're comfortably in command of the game, you maybe want to give them every possible chance to bag that third goal. But I did feel like Chris Wood didn't really do much in the second half. And if we could have that time again, it might have been nice to get Jesus on earlier because, he was really working off scraps for the 10, 15 minutes he was on. He didn't really do much to impress, but you've got to be aware of what he had behind him. He didn't have much to work with. So let's not leap to any judgment about him.
Rob, I agree with the fact that he's had very little time. I agree with the fact that he needs to be given more time for us to fully assess him. However, I'm getting a little bit tired of people telling me he's a striker. Chris Wood scored 20 goals in how many games did he play last season in the Premier League? He didn't play them all. Let's say 35. Let's say 35. He scored 20 goals in 35 games in a top league in the world. Jesus has got 8 goals in 63 games in a very inferior league. Don't tell me he's a striker. He ain't no striker, mate. I don't know what he is, but he's not a striker. I'm not saying he's not a good player. He could be good elsewhere. But for God's sake, don't put him in as our number 9. It will not work.
Well, did you notice Man U played Cunha as a 9 today, and he didn't look like a 9 to me?
Look, Rob. Cunha is a world-class player.
Yeah, well, he didn't look very good today as a 9. So
did he not?
No.
I only saw Arsenal score, then I wasn't bothered.
Yeah.
But Cunha. Yeah, so what's your point in saying that, Rob?
Well, I just think don't jump on him based on 10, 15 minutes where
No,
he's
I just
had
said, I just don't think
to
he's a
work with.
striker. That's all I'm saying, Rob. I'm not saying he's a bad player. I just don't think he's a goal scorer. In fact, I know
Yeah.
he's not a goal scorer.
Yet. I mean, how old is he? Should we check how old he is? I mean, you know.
He's not young. He's not young. He's not an 18-year-old. He's about 24.
Yeah.
He's
All right,
24.
that's
He's 24. I'm back.
That's not young in today's football.
Yeah. Well,
I mean,
anyway,
how was Haaland?
So I think he's a like for like sub for Wood in that he's quite physical and he gets back into the midfield and gets involved in scraps and picks the ball up, a bit like Wood does. I think that if he had been brought on in minute 65 and instead of bringing on Jota Silva, we'd put Hutchison on the right and then maybe McAtee behind him. Who knows? It could have. He might have got a goal.
Well,
So you
tell you
work
what, Rob. I've got a pretty good track record of players. Don't mention Nketiah. I
No,
know
you don't.
everyone's allowed one mistake in life, right? I've got a pretty good. I've got a pretty
Danilo.
good record of saying what players are going to succeed. What like I called out Jota Silva, Morata, Tyler a long time ago.
Danilo.
Right?
Danilo, Nketiah.
Mangala.
Yeah, but Danilo is a fantastic player.
Is he?
A
Mangala.
fantastic player.
You said
he would have been a fantastic
Everton
success at Forest given the chance, but he's been sold, so we'll never know. All right.
Mangala.
And I'm have to say I'm having to put Jesus in the Jota Silva, Ramon Sosa bracket. I'm afraid.
Oh no, come
He will
on.
not be a good
based on
player.
50
had a
minutes.
No.
hasn't had a
Listen.
chance.
I'm not betting against you. I'm not saying you're wrong and I'm right. I'm saying that's my opinion.
Well, I'm
and
betting
time will
against you,
tell.
and I'm saying I'm
and
right. and you're wrong.
I'm going to clip this. Right, nobody
it.
else needs to because I'm going to clip it because I'm that confident that in a year's time, 6 months or a year's time, I'll be saying, "Oh look, remember this."
Look, I've got to say, and has a go on mute answer it, and does have a point. I've always felt Jesus is a false nine or a shadow striker. I kind of think he could even play as a 10 because he likes to drop in deep. And his goal record is his goal record, I know, but every Brazilian fan from Botafogo, even outside of Botafogo, I've spoken, remember Mario? I spoke to Mario, a Palmeiras fan. Had a chat with him. He's like baller. He's a baller. He will do fine, right? But hey, man, when Mario told you Scarpa was the next Ronaldinho, bro, you were bouncing off the roof. So you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but he needs
but
time.
I watched Scarpa and I saw what I saw.
Scarpa
I
is
watched
quality,
this guy and I see nothing.
He's still quality
Right?
now.
And you know,
I
if you
hate
go
it.
down to your local junior school, there'll be a kid there that plays football, and all the other kids will say, "It's fantastic, it's brilliant." Doesn't mean he can play in the Premier League.
Yeah, but
Okay.
you can't judge Jesus off a crap preseason, and you can't judge him off coming
I'm
on
not.
today.
I'm
for
not.
20
I'm
minutes.
judging him from what I saw him at Botafogo. I'm judging from what I've seen him at Forest, and I'm judging him from his goals output.
Well, I am about
If people
to
stop
pronounce
calling
it,
him a
by the way.
striker and call him a forward midfielder or something along those lines, or something that plays behind the
Well,
striker, I'd say fair
feel-
dues. It may be good, but
I
don't
said
keep calling him a
I
bloody
said
striker
to-
because he's not, and he never
I said
will
to the
be.
guy-
He's
I said-
24 years old. He would have scored some goals by now if he was a striker.
I said to the guy next to me today, I have no idea who he is, but when MGW needed to go off, I said put Jesus on in the 10.
Yeah.
Obviously, he didn't.
Yeah, I
but
prefer him there. I would prefer
is
him
an
there. Yeah.
option.
Yeah.
I think that's a good option. And as 00, I'm pretty sure that's 00's. It is you 00, isn't it? Saying Callum Owendo is coming in. And he is a goal scorer.
Calimawendo.
Da-da-da-da-da-da. And he is coming in and he is a bagsman. And he will. Look, let me be clear with you guys, right? If Jesus flops and Chris Wood flops and Callum Owendo comes in and scores 20 plus goals, I don't really care. If Callum Owendo flops and Wood flops and Igor Jesus bags the goals in, I don't care. As long as one of them bags the goals in this season, I don't care who it is. But I think Callum Owendo, within 3 months, makes that position his own. He is that good, in my opinion.
But it's nice if we had Calimawendo and Wood both scoring goals and both like playing whenever.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
the
'cause then-
ideal scenario,
we're
isn't
in
it?
4 competitions. We're in 4
Yeah.
competitions, so
Yeah, but maybe we're being a little bit hasty
Premature.
here because I'm just
Yeah,
looking.
I agree.
I mean, look at João Pedro, for example. He's just gone to Chelsea for
He's gonna say Evan Ferguson, isn't he?
No, but he's
crap. He's crap. He's overrated.
Yeah, well, anyway, so
now I'm with you, Rob.
What do they pay? 70 million for João Pedro. Overrated,
something
overpriced.
in that.
60,
Yeah.
He's decent, João Pedro.
But Chelsea are mad, aren't they? They just buy everybody. So
But who cares? We're ahead of them in the league, so who cares? They say the table doesn't lie. Well, Sunderland, the second best team in England, apparently, if that's the case. Let me just catch up on some super chats and then chat.
I do believe because he's Brazilian, so they speak Portuguese. It is Jesus.
It is Jesus,
not
bro.
Jesus.
Oh, bro, you're worse than Tim in the comments, man. Seriously, man.
I just call him Jesus, man. I got him on my shirt right here.
Exactly. That's why Ben wants him to be the next superstar, man. Well, you know what? I wonder
he avoids crosses. Oh, that's an old one, isn't it?
Don't make me get my Sangare shirt out.
No, burn it. Burn it. Do not put that back up. Don't you dare. Leah, we've done that one. Sorry. James with the $2. He goes, get D a few more packs of the L plates. Oh, don't worry, bro. I've got a whole drawer. I don't know where they are. I've got a whole drawer full of them. He did not like it when I did that at all. Big up to you, James. All right, boys. Man of the match and why? Ben.
100% for me. It's got to be Sangare. I thought that he absolutely controlled that midfield. His passing was sublime. His forward passing was great. There was moments where he had 3 players on him trying to tackle him, and he just calmly turned away and passed the ball away. He had a few shots. He was making tackles. He was running back and defending. He was getting in the box. I thought he was fantastic. Like, genuinely, I thought Sangare today was probably the best player on the pitch out of anyone. I thought he was really, really good. And I thought he changed the game. And there's a reason why we had 78 possession or whatever it was in that first half, is because Sangare today was doing what we were all wishing for last season, which was to control the midfield. So Ez is wrong, and Sangare is man of the match.
Can we get some love in the chat for Ez? We get Ez emojis if you're a member while he's out with his ACL, man, on the subs bench there, watching away. Shout out to Ez, and get your man of the matches in the chat as well. What's fascinating, boys, is the agenda for Sangare on this channel with our viewers is real, because they gave Ndoye a 8.5 and they gave Sangare an 8.6.
No, you see, that's shocking, because if you take that goal away from Ndoye, he was probably barely a 7.
Yeah, Ndoye was nothing.
Sangare
people think that 7's a bad score. No, 7 means you played well and you were above average.
And have you seen the play ratings? Have you watched it? Oh, you have? Okay.
Yeah.
Because you agreed with everything I said.
It's just ripping off quotes.
I was going to say,
did you? Is that what you said?
Yeah, like word for word.
No, literally a lot of what you said today is exactly what I said on the player ratings earlier.
Mate, we're always like this. Come on, be fair. We're always talking. We're always in sync. It's these other weirdos we have on that disagree with us.
Well, the only person who doesn't watch any of the FFTV videos is Rob. So
Rob does, actually. Rob does. I always get a couple of calls every now and again. I don't like what you said about this player. What about this link? What about that?
And then Wolfie puts the phone down and just lets Rob carry on for the next hour. Yeah, he comes back and says, "Okay, mate."
So rude.
Anyway, listen, we're on 432 likes. Let's push for 450. That's 18 more of you. Rob, who was your man of the match? So, did you say at the ground it was MGW? I thought they gave it to Anderson.
Sponsor gave it to MGW.
The fans gave it to Anderson.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm tempted to say Anderson, but I think that...
Wait, hold on. Cypher, how can we live in an echo chamber when everyone in the comments gets to say their comments freely without judgment? Interesting.
So,
not only that, we never stop effing and blinding each other and calling each other morons. So, I don't think it's an echo chamber.
Go on, Rob.
Can we not overlook the obvious one, which is, does Chris Wood have to score an actual hat-trick to be man of the match? I mean, those were 2 good goals. I mean, honestly, getting that first goal after 5 minutes, that really settled everybody's nerves, didn't it? You know, we have had a crap pre-season. We've had a lot of legal issues. We've had a lot of uncertainty about what European competition we're in and who's leaving, and Nuno making comments, and it was all just put away after 5 minutes with that like delightful sort of snapshot half volley that he did. So let's give him his credit. You know, I think if somebody scores 2 really good goals like that, even if you don't see them for the rest of the match, I mean, what do people always say about Erling Haaland? You know, you don't see him for 89 minutes, then he pops up and scores the winner. Chris, apart from those 2 goals, Chris Wood did F all. But those 2 goals were pretty important because otherwise it would have been 1-1. So I would give Chris Wood man of the match for that reason. And but the one where he danced around Kelleher, by the way, let's be clear, it's very easy to F that up.
That was beautiful, man.
It
was
beautiful. Very, very easy to F that up. And
that's another player Ant was wrong about, Kelleher. Ant wanted Kelleher in.
So just let me finish on this. So that it reminded me of the goal that was his hat-trick goal away at Newcastle, where he took it round the keeper at the end. And the actual he finished it on his left foot from a really tight angle. Was like tighter than the one that Gibbs White missed from Wembley, because he didn't have a lot of space to actually finish that off. And so give him credit, you know, and he actually broke clear. He scored a goal on the break. Chris Wood, at nearly 34 years of age, scored a goal on the break.
Wait, don't start firing
You can
shots.
respond back to that, Rob.
I've just given him man of the match.
The beast. You've awoken the beast.
I've just given him man of the match. I don't care that he didn't do much else. He scored 2 great goals, and he gave us the win, and he settled everybody's nerves after 5 minutes, which was really important.
Jess, that's not what he told me at the Trent Nav earlier. So
Go on, Ant. I feel like you wanted to respond to that and give you a man of the match.
Yeah, no. I mean, I just disagree with Rob on the fact that he said he did nothing else. He pressed well today, and he occupied their defence well today, and he held the ball up and laid it off quite well as well. So, although I wouldn't personally give him man of the match, one bad game doesn't mean he's a bad goalkeeper, by the way.
it does.
So I think Rob's was actually, although I gave him man of the match, was underselling him a little bit, if that makes sense. But it's one of those games, isn't it? And we've had a few. We had a few last season where we played so well that if anybody said that they would give it to Murillo, to Milenkovic, to Anderson, to MGW, to Callum Ndoye, did I say Anderson? I think I did. I wouldn't have an issue with any of them.
Yeah,
I think it's really difficult because they all contributed in different ways, which is what a football team do. If I was forced to at gunpoint, I love Anderson so much. It's difficult to look beyond him. But then again, Sangare
was close.
But I would probably go MGW because he did some beautiful stuff today.
Why?
And I'm not his biggest fan, so I'm not. It takes a lot for me to say that. But I have to give it to him because he did some beautiful things today. He looked really up for it. He looked a proper footballer today. And as I've said, if he can do that on a regular basis, we've got a world beater. And when he goes to Man City in either January or next summer, we'll get a lot of money for him. Although he's probably been decided at 70 million already. But anyway.
Conspiracies.
I think he's auditioning. I really do. I think that's why he's happy, because he knows he's going.
I hear what you're saying. I just think the reason MGW had that additional freedom today was because of Sangare. I agree. You could give it to anyone. I think the only one I wouldn't have put on my list for it is Dan Ndoye, and he scored a goal. And I thought no one played bad, is my point that I'm making it. I'm not digging Dan Ndoye out. I'm saying no one played bad. To a man, they were all very good, especially the starting 11. I gotta say it's Sangare, man. I'm sorry. That's what
it's like I said, Wolfie. I wouldn't argue with you on it. If you say Sangare, I'd say good choice.
Exactly. I hear that, and let's hope that we keep having these silly little debates over who should be or who shouldn't be. But I'm buzzing, man. I'm buzzing. All right, we're gonna wrap it up there. I'm gonna send you over to Carlos, who's a Forest fan. I need you guys to spam in this chat. What should we troll him with, Ben? What's
No
Clown.
subs. No
Well,
subs.
Mad Carlos, you mean?
Is he
Yeah.
streaming a
Carlos
game?
Unity.
Is he streaming a game?
I think he's playing Call of Duty or
Oh,
something.
he's so shit at Call of Duty, man. He's so shit.
Let's just spam in there. Just put some clown emojis. Clown emojis. Let him know we've come in.
No,
Two
you
quick-
should just spam in there. Marinakis, he hates the Palace, he hates the Tottenham.
That's a long thing to write.
Big
I
up
know,
to
it's a
Mark
bit
with
long.
the
isn't it? But
199.
You know where I'm coming from, don't you?
Yeah.
Hold on.
He hates
He's
Carlo.
like, Mark, shut up. Mark with the 199. Big up to you. And Chris with yet another £2. Chris, an absolute legend. In what world can Hendo play before Ando? Hendo?
Oh, no,
Henderson.
right. He's talking about Jordan Henderson.
England.
They're
and
Henderson.
Anderson
Jordan
for England.
Henderson.
Oh, Jordan
Yeah,
Henderson.
Jordan
Right.
Henderson.
Jordan Henderson
I was like, you made me crap my pants. Did we just pick up Henderson after the match and say you're staying here, bro? Like, seriously, don't do that to me, Chris. Don't do that to
Oh,
me.
by the
I
way,
agree with you.
I actually totally missed it. I don't know how, but evidently Amari Hutchinson and McAtee were introduced to the crowd. I didn't see that at all.
I didn't. I knew they were there, but I didn't see that.
Yeah.
The queues were massive to get in, weren't they?
All right, we're out of here.
It's funny
Don't
though.
do
There's that one entrance with the two turnstiles at Trent End Upper near the Brian's Clough stand. That's never massive. All the other queues are massive, and that one you pretty much walk straight in or wait for 2 minutes.
Like 20 minutes. Oh, we should do a like target, by the way. I think we should try and get to 1,119 likes, and the 19 is for Jesus.
Let's get to 500 first. So hit the like before you leave. Put a clown emoji or type clown in Carlos's chat. Right now, I'm sending you over there. Make sure you subscribe to him as well. He's a full-on diehard Forest fan. All right, we'll see you tomorrow. Transfer news incoming. Plenty of it. Come on, you Reds.
You're right.
You're right.